Hello all, in this demo we will show how to set up static port bonding for ironic nodes in the case network isolation, also known as multi-tenancy support, is enabled for ironic. We use DivStack master as of beginning of August 2016 with no changes and a real bare metal supermicro node that has two network interfaces plugged into the same Cisco Catalyst switch. We also have networking generic switch ML2 plugin for Neutron installed in DevStack and configured to manage our hardware switch. This enables multi-tenancy support for ironic nodes in Neutron. Here is the list of nodes enrolled into Ironic. One node is a real bare metal node, all others are standard virtual bare metal nodes created by DevStack. We've put them to maintenance so that Noah will boot the instance on the real bare metal node only. We use default agent IPMI tool driver, and as you see, we've also set network interface for the node to Neutron, which enables multi-tenancy support. Despite the node has two network interfaces, we only create a single ironic port for this node. Linux bonding by default will choose the lowest MAC as the bonds MAC, and this is what we've assigned to this port. The local link info connection field is set to use the port channel 1 interface on the switch. And here is how it is configured on the switch. These are the two ports that are plugged into our bare metal network server. They are in a port group using a passive mode, which will enable bonding only when a LACP device is detected on the other side. And here is the list of VLANs configured on the node. Right now both interfaces are in default VLAN. And here is the list of our Neutron networks. We have a dedicated ironic provisioning network and a standard tenant private network. They have different VLANs and as such also are present in the switch. The Ironic provision network is configured as a provisioning network in Ironic. We use a custom built Fedora based image which has the bonding pre-configured inside the image. We will later show how it is indeed achieved. Now let's boot a Nova instance from this image with bare metal flavor and inside the tenant's private network. We see that Ironic is creating ports in the provisioning network. We see that these ports are now plugged into this VLAN of provisioning network together with the port channel. Both interfaces now in standalone mode as there is no LACP device detected on the other side. Ironic right now will power on the node. And since Pixie doesn't have an option for port bonding, ports are first in down state, then move to waiting for to be aggregated, and then finally we'll move to this again to the standalone mode. Also note that the IP the node has got is indeed from the provisioning network 10.05 in our case. Now Ironic is waiting for the node agent to make a lookup request. And agent successfully contacted conductor, and now the image is being deployed to hard drive. This will take some time as the image is 3 gigabytes large. Image has been successfully deployed to disk. Ironic sets node to boot from disk next time and powers it down. Then removes the provisioning ports from Neutron. Neutron via network engineering switch plugin has plugged the ports in the port group on the switch to the VLAN of tenant network. On the switch we see that interfaces are already in bundled state. Now let's log into the instance and see how the image is actually configured. For the demo we are doing this via networking namespaces, but generally one would have to assign a floating IP to the instance. So instance is accessible. SSHing into the instance. On the instance there is a bond0 interface that has the IP. And ETH0 and ETH1 interfaces are configured to be the bond slaves. This is ETH0 and this is ETH1, and the bond is configured with mode 4 that announces the bond as LACP capable device. On the switch, the port group is plugged into the tenant network.